Adam Friedland has a chat with Ritchie Torres. Talk about Zionism, LGBTQ people, and the Bronx. Oh boy. Now, for those who don't know, one of the biggest stooges for fucking Israel is, well, Ritchie Torres. By the way, quick reminder, this is also the same fucking dude who basically just brought it to the House floor of Congress to advocate for Twitch to ban Hassan on the floor of Congress. So, and also, from what I recall correctly, also followed Destiny on fucking Twitter. So, just to give you a sense of the complete utter freak that we're dealing with here, we have Ritchie Torres. Let's take a look.
I'm sorry, dude. Your consultant told you not to do it. I like this guy a lot too.
Oh yeah. So for people probably wondering, why the fuck is Ritchie Torres even on the Adam Friedland show? Former Cumtown guy. Listen, if you know, you know. He is doing the same thing as Elisa Slotkin, basically trying to do the whole podcast circuit to try to appeal to fucking young people. Even though, like, why the fuck would you want to appeal to young people with people like Ritchie Torres? Like, ostensible, miserable, genocidal fucking wretches like Ritchie Torres, they're not gonna like anything that he's fucking selling. Like, it's really, really fucking stupid. Really? I don't know. Maybe, like, some consultant is actually sabotaging him. Maybe they're secretly leftist allies and they also hate Ritchie Torres. Maybe that's why. But, let's just fucking continue with this shit.
I'm sorry. I appreciate your time. Listen,
Sure.
I don't get to talk to someone in the government that's taking part of these big decisions like this. And
Well, I'm only one of 535. So.
which one would like me? Virginia Fox?
I don't know.
Do you have her number?
I don't have a number. No.
Right.
Okay. Goes Jack Sparrow. He's dead.
Welcome to the Adam Friedland Show. I'm Adam Friedland. As always, thank you to our members and our patrons, the people that support our show. If you'd like to support our show, there's a link in the description of this video below to become a member, which gives you early access to all of our episodes. And,
Okay, listen,
there's also
become a
link for
member,
your Patreon
support
in the
Adam
description
Friedland,
below.
blah, blah, blah,
House
blah,
of
blah.
Representatives, Ritchie Torres, everyone, make some noise. I can't. Hello.
What's going on?
Hello. Well, I got two issues. First of all, your district is Yankee Stadium. That's one of your.
I represent Yankee Stadium, yeah.
And I asked you how the Yanks were, and you were like, I'm not. You didn't.
So I love the Yankees, but I'm not a huge baseball fan.
You just turned
and
it
I'm not
off.
going to pretend to be a baseball fan.
What about the zoo?
I love the Bronx Zoo.
Okay.
Botanical
Do
Gardens.
you consider the animals your constituents?
I consider the Bronx Zoo indistinguishable from the United States Congress. Yeah.
Oh, does that crush in, like, if you say to another guy in Congress?
It crushes nowhere because if I actually had any comedic talent, I probably wouldn't be in Congress.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You want to be
But, when I was a kid, I was a fan, not of baseball, but professional wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
a huge
what's the name?
fan of
Attitude
The
Era.
Rock. The Attitude Era.
Oh
So
my
I started
God.
watching in 1998.
We had it so
Stone
good
Cold Steve
at the
Austin,
time.
The Rock. I thought that was
Mankind.
Mankind.
Yeah, so was I. Yeah, that we were
I
on
did
Raw.
a huge rock impersonation when I was a kid. Like I used to.
I knew of you as a congressman, but I didn't know your backstory. And I mean, goddamn, wow. I mean, it's an incredibly inspirational story. That you
And
have.
unlike George Santos, I have a true story.
That's your.
I have no OnlyFans account, but I do have an actual.
Did he have an OnlyFans?
Oh yeah.
In Congress.
I'm not sure if he had it, but certainly it was generating
He
income.
would have
right
been the
after.
first. I mean,
Who knows? I mean,
He would be the first
I'm not
member of
closely
Congress.
following the OnlyFans accounts of every
it
member of
sounds like you
Congress.
can't stand this guy.
No, just
Damn, Ritchie Torres, no fucking, no OnlyFans account. It's so Jover, guys.
No.
just I want to.
Do you miss him? He was pretty funny.
He was a
was
source
away.
of comedic enjoyment. Yeah.
His tweet right before jail was amazing. He's like, the curtain closes, like
Yeah.
she walks off stage. He was a real ham, George.
Yeah.
But he was a complete fraud, right?
Total fraud. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he bought like Birkin bags with campaign funds.
Well, also he fabricated every aspect of his biography. It was not like he told one lie here or there. It was like the whole story was a complete fabrication.
I feel like in this day and age, that's kind of like that's in play. I feel like you
No,
can do it.
it's
Par
I
for
feel
the
like it's such
course.
a chaotic time. Like, yeah, like I went to Harvard Law School, and I used to be the coolest guy in my school, and I'm also Brazilian and Jewish. And what did he say?
No, he said that he had his parents were Holocaust survivors.
I
He
like
was
that.
Ukrainian
That's
because of the war in Ukraine.
He was also
And then
Ukrainian.
he had
And
had
his name was
friends who died
Santos.
in the mass shooting in Orlando.
He's amazing.
He like incorporated every current event into his life story.
Pathological liars are great, but he took it all the way to the show.
Although he inspired me to introduce a bill that
Yeah.
has, I think, it's the greatest acronym in the history of
What is it called?
congressional the Santos Act.
And what was it?
Stop another non-truthful office seeker. Santos.
Am I sensing that there's like
Santos Act.
the two of you guys as like young New York
George
gay,
Santos
like
is a-
Latino
he's a
congressman,
fucking
he's
goofy
naturally like
guy.
your foil. He's your Darth Vader.
Let's assume like after he was expelled from Congress,
Yeah.
he became the most prominent Jewish gay Latino congressman from New York. How's that?
You're Jewish?
No, Jewish.
You're Jewish.
Lying.
Oh, come on, I wouldn't wish this upon my greatest enemy. You don't want any part of this, my
You
friend.
never heard this comment? He's Jewish, not Jewish.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, but you don't. I'm
No,
just
but he
like,
invented the term.
about you. I
He
don't think
invented the term about himself.
it's just a word with it. Yeah, about him.
When he was confronted, why did you lie about being Jewish? He
Sure,
said,
but
I never said I was Jewish. I said I was Jewish.
I would say that I'm
But you're actually Jewish.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, so, yeah. I can't quit.
No,
I wrote a letter to BB and they rejected it.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah,
want me.
Anthony
You know
DeVolder,
that.
exactly.
Now you join. is when you're a baby, your parents have a party, and then this like old wizard walks in, and then he pulls your diaper off, and then your whole family looks at your beautiful baby penis, and then he cuts the part that I guess gives one pleasure later on in life and during sex, and then there's like a deli tray there and stuff. That's how you join the club. Yeah. But we've been doing it for a while though. I don't mind it. You really did like my crude humor.
I mean, you've endured for thousands of years, so something's going right.
I guess so. It's definitely the wizard and the baby's penis part.
Yeah, well,
I know. I'm being crude with a member of the
these are important decisions that parents have to
make. What's rude is that we're in an era where like talking to someone in the legislative branch is it's a privilege because it's so fucking crazy. And
the privilege is mine. You're the one with the massive following. You win the New York.
Well, no, he's not calling himself Jewish. He was talking specifically about George Santos, right? Remember when he called himself Jewish, right? Right, boy meets me.
You know, I know that because you told me. Not because I read the profile. But you told me you win the New York. So congratulations on the profile. You know you would be considered young in the United States Congress?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
might be.
able to be
my dating profile says I'm congressionally young.
Congressionally young.
And congressionally attractive just in case you're disappointed.
That gets some action.
Is it a plus? It's not clear. It's not clear.
It has to be.
I work 7 days a week, so it has a grinding effect. But
yeah, and you're with the worst people on earth. Well, what are you doing here, though? It must be tough.
Yeah, one of my colleagues said to me that Congress is the best university in the world.
Really?
And because you just have access to some of the brightest minds, you can learn a tremendous amount.
They're the smartest guys?
Yeah. We certainly have access.
It's like the Sorbonne or something in Congress. How boring is it like to be in the government sometimes? What's the most boring part of it?
I mean, I love it.
You love it?
Because of the variety.
You like parliamentary procedures?
I feel like no position has more variety than a House member. Because one day you get to be local, state, national, and international at the same time. So one day I'm receiving a complaint about a pothole on Fordham Road, or pressuring the mayor to crack down on an open air drug market in the South Bronx. And the next day,
Congress about that?
And the next day I'm receiving like a briefing from the CIA about rising tensions between the United States and China. So
what do you do about the pothole?
Does he really wait? Do fucking House members really receive a bunch of complaints about like fucking potholes from constituents? I guess in like town halls, but isn't that more like a sort of like local issue? Like that's like more for like city council members to mostly be taken care of, not probably members of Congress. Like I guess they could like earmark and like allocate particular funds or some shit in order to sort of take care of that stuff. That's like really the only thing I can think of. Yeah, like that's I'm pretty sure that's a more local issue, not like within the purview of fucking Congress. Like maybe someone will go and complain to like Ritchie Torres or whoever the fuck about that shit, but I'm pretty sure that's not within the purview of anyone in the fucking House. Like they can't do shit about that.
In DC though. I'm just sorry.
I use my platform to pressure the mayor to solve problems.
Oh, Adams. Yeah. Can I guess who you were in school growing up?
Sure.
You were like were you student government?
No, not student government.
You were like a debate club or?
I was the captain of the law team.
Law team. Oh, so you wanted to be a lawyer?
Yeah, I had dreams of becoming either a lawyer or teacher.
So you did mock trial, right?
I did moot court. And mock trial, but I was like a master of moot court.
And what did you like? You like the Atticus Finch style, like closing arguments?
So that was mock trial. Yeah. Moot court is modeled after the Supreme Court or an appellate court. So you deliver an argument before a panel of judges.
So you like the one with worse speeches? The one that's less than like
no, because it teaches you to think on your feet. Yes, less theatrical.
So but that was your prep for the game.
Yeah.
You went to the show.
It was the first time when I discovered I had a talent for public speaking. Or I thought I had a talent for public speaking.
Early on, you grew up in a single mother home. You have a twin brother?
Twin brother.
Identical?
He's biologically older. I'm temperamentally older.
Identical or no?
Fraternal. We're fake twins.
That's all right.
5 minutes apart.
I was on a date once with a girl who told me first date. She said I have an identical twin. I can't do it. I can't tell her secrets. She has her brain is connected to some another one of her.
Yeah.
You can't trust these people. That's a prejudice of mine.
People would ask me where's your brother. I'm like, where's your fraternal twin? Not Siamese twins. Like I don't know his whereabouts every moment.
But you're good at
I can't believe that Adam would be racist against identical twins.
Right?
That's good.
You're still learning.
Yeah, of course. I've only been there for 3 terms. It's the most complicated legislature on earth. No one's gonna master it in 3 terms. The problem with DC is not that it's corrupt. The problem with DC is that it's stupid. There's just so much absurdity in DC.
I thought you said it's the smartest place in the world.
Wait. Okay. Now we're starting to get into like some weird shit. What the fuck? Like what does he mean by it's fucking stupid? I guess like stupid in the respect that I suppose in terms of like a burdensome regulation and complete utter nonsense that you have to follow. But that's not like that's like more a structure of the a structural problem fundamentally with Congress in of itself, not because of like. And like even like particular people, right? We can talk about like Ritchie Torres, right? The main subject of this podcast in particular. Like the fact that people are so ready to basically bend over backwards for people who are clearly doing genocide, like the state of fucking Israel. The problem more so becomes like, hey man. Like, the main issue that a lot of people have with, like, people in Congress is the fact that they just feel like their Congress people are just not really doing anything. And keep in mind, Ritchie Torres, and specifically with the Democrats, right? Democrat approval rating of Israel, which is, I don't know if people know, it's quite fucking low. So this was back in July, 32% in U.S. back Israel's military action in Gaza. This was back in July. I believe it has gone as low as about 8%. Right? Here's from the Brookings Institute. I think it was about saw real quick was like 10% of Democrats support the actions of Israel, right? Democrats. Among Democrats, 52% think Israel should make a deal, so it's making a ceasefire deal, probably with Hamas. 55% of Democrats support continuing military assistance to Israel. That's way too fucking high of a goddamn number. Where was it? It was 10%. Among Democrats, 10% favor Israel, 20% favor the Palestinians, and 68% believe the U.S. should not take sides. Really? From the Brookings Institute. That's a little fucking interesting. Really? It's 68% believe that the U.S. should not take sides. From what I recall correctly, it was another particular sort of journalistic outlet that was saying. I think they said it was about 60 something percent of Democrats specifically support the Palestinians. So that makes me think like, these numbers, they seem a little fucking interesting. A little interesting.
Wait, can't we have access?
The overall broader point is that the support in favor for fucking Israel is, broadly speaking, falling significantly amongst Democrats, right? That's the main broader point. And like, if you're young, right? Like, if you're a young person or whatever, like, you really do not like Israel.
Some of the brightest minds. So like, if you want to learn more about artificial intelligence or quantum computing or energy, you can reach out to some of the best minds.
Yeah. You call any CEO right now? Calls up right now.
People generally will take your call. I'm not calling now. So.
I don't know. Your voice is up. You said I'm not calling him now. You have his number.
Why don't know?
So what CEO is your best friend? What's the best one?
Mention who's my best friend.
How many CEO friends do you have?
I don't have many CEO friends.
Well, you said you could call anyone on the phone at any time.
If I have a question about like AI policy, I probably could get a meeting with a CEO. Yeah, that's true. Any member of Congress.
Yeah. Did you grow up in the district you represent?
My father's from Monthaven. I'm from Throgsneck Houses, so I grew up in a public housing development in Throgsneck Houses, right across the street from what was formerly Trump Golf Course.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, as the golf course was undergoing construction, it unleashed a skunk infestation. So I tell people I've been smelling the stench of Donald Trump long before he became president. But he was infested with skunks.
What's it, like, you grew up in New York City, so
born and raised in the Bronx.
Our president is an outer borough New Yorker, effectively.
Yeah, from Queens. Yeah.
Right. He wants to present that he's like Mr. like Goldman Sachs, but really he's a New York City real estate guy.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
He was never respected in the real estate industry. He was known to like rip off his contractors, and he was seen as a joke within the industry.
Yeah. He figured out that if you keep someone in a lawsuit,
he was more known for his self-promotion and marketing.
Yeah.
Than he was for his actual effectiveness in real estate.
Yeah. Have you ever? What have your interactions been with the president?
No interactions.
You've never met him.
I have no desire to meet him.
Let's practice it right now.
I feel like he's the worst person on earth.
You know what I mean? You're in the government though. You gotta be the president.
He's the devil.
He's the devil?
Yeah.
You gotta have a good word for the president. Let's practice. I'm Trump. What's up? I'm Trump. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
That's your you just bombed. You can't stare like that with some weird smile.
I'm gonna shake Donald Trump's hand.
Yeah, you have to say like a.
Okay, I think we're gonna get to the overall broader theming from what I've seen in terms of a lot of the clips. Ritchie Torres is like not a human being. This is like extremely fucking weird, right? Like you should shake that fucking hand of the guy saying like hello Ritchie, nice to meet you. I'm the president, as you very well know. You must be one of my biggest fans. Like, why the fuck would you just like sit there and just kind of smile and just not do anything? That's like really fucking weird. Like, why would you do that? Why? Like, very, very strange. And yeah, that's a good point there, Alex. Like, if you have a question about AI policy, you call the people that have the biggest incentive to persuade you a certain way. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's like, broadly speaking, one of the biggest reasons why people have lost a lot of faith within Congress. Because generally speaking, a lot of people see Congress as sort of like, oh, well, they never represent us. They just represent a bunch of different like conglomerations of different corporations and stuff like that. And well, they don't really represent us. They don't fucking give a shit about us. So why the fuck should we ever give a shit about them? You know?
You're doing like the Holocaust right now in this country. Like you have to say like you're ruining this country right now. Like seriously, why don't you say something like that? You're an asshole. You said the Marines and stuff.
Okay, we'll practice.
Okay, go ahead. Let's get it. Come on, dude.
Mr. President.
Yeah.
I'm looking for. Hopefully, you can release those files.
Epstein, that's your no. Come on, dude. First of all, you guys already lost on Epstein.
You think we lost on Epstein?
You guys lost
He's obviously in the files.
Well, half of the files is your guys too, right?
Yeah,
so you got, half the files is your guys too. So that's why you guys didn't do this.
My view is release the files and let the dice fall where they may.
You guys lost on Epstein.
Why did we lose?
His crappy excuse, like everyone, his whole base doesn't really care.
Yeah, they just done.
What we found is that they actually don't care. MAGA didn't really care. Yeah. You guys really are having a rough one right now. I think.
What's your advice for us?
I don't know. I mean, you're one of the guys. So I'll tell you what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
right.
Please tell me.
I really want to give you your whole story about.
You want me to tell my story?
No, because I want to talk about this.
Okay.
But
You clearly don't want to hear my stories.
I've been trying to toss it to your story, which is fucking. That's a Hallmark movie. We'd open this up like this guy's. You're the first black gay guy to be in the government. Gay man to be in the government. Gay guy is. You can't say that. To a
first
You're the
Latino and black gay member of Congress.
first
in the
Latino
United
black
States,
guy. It doesn't roll off the tongue, that one.
Yeah, too many identities.
Yeah. First black president. Obama crushed it with that one. Yeah. First Latino and black.
Once you have a first black president, everything else becomes less impressive.
How many LGBT members of Congress are there?
There are quite a few, like more than 10.
More than 10.
Yeah.
And there's 100 Senate. How many House?
435.
435.
So 535 in total.
Are there any no Republicans, right?
Who are openly LGBTQ.
Oh, you're saying
None of them.
you're spilling the tea right now?
Well, my running joke is the LGBTQ caucus is the only caucus that can expand without winning an election. We just have to take members out of the closet.
Would you do that? You were in the closet in your life, right? Like, what are the ethics there? It's really interesting because, like,
Would I
if
out
you see a
members?
gay- if you see
Yeah.
a closet gay Republican like advocating for something that is
Would I out him?
well, it's advocating for like a taking away gay marriage or something. Like, what's the rule there? Because you were in the closet yourself as a young man, and it's a painful thing, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, you have to go through it's a process.
You found out in middle school?
I realized I was a gay in middle school.
When was it? Titanic? Leo DiCaprio?
No.
No, I didn't realize at all. When I
It's not
was
Leonardo
cute.
DiCaprio.
Wait, how was it? What was it?
I forget exactly how I realized it.
You forgot? No, you don't forget. You gotta have a better story. You're a politician. Titanic, Leonardo.
I'm not
DiCaprio.
often asked about my coming out
And
story in the
then-
Bronx, so.
Why not? It's an interesting story,
Yeah.
right? And like you're Puerto Rican. You were afraid of?
We're doing a little bit of trolling right now.
I grew up in the project, so it's a machismo
Yeah.
environment.
And what about your family? Was there when did you come out to them?
16.
16.
Yeah.
And was that when you came out?
No, then I came out graduate time, and then when I ran for office when I was 24, I decided to be out to everyone, to run as an openly LGBTQ candidate.
But
that
like,
was back in 2000.
when you were at school and stuff, you didn't tell people that you were gay? Or?
Yeah, I was telling more and more people over time.
I thought you were at an assembly or something.
Yes, I was at a debate competition where I said I was a gay American.
So that's
I had
counts as coming out?
Isn't that like a Jim McGreevey moment, though? Remember he said as a gay American?
Yeah, yeah.
Gave the speech, and that's such a dated
You're a
reference.
kid coming out of the closet. Don't diminish that experience.
Yeah, it was back in
No, that's your story. Why would you say that was just a debate competition? It has to be scary.
No, I agree. It was terrifying.
What led you to do it at debate?
Yeah. I don't know, I just felt, it's interesting.
Did you see something that you were like?
Yeah, so I was browsing through MySpace,
Yeah.
and I ran into the profile of a teacher who identified as gay. And it was the first time I knew of a person in my social universe who was openly LGBTQ, and so I approached him. And
Your social universe? You chilled with your teachers?
or people in the world I knew, I guess.
You were.
Yeah, why is he knocking his own coming out experience? I don't know, dude. It's really fucking weird. Like, cause, like I've said before, with people like fucking Ritchie Torres, like the dude's just like a fucking sociopath. It's one of those situations where he is like genuinely like impossible to sort of like want to have like any interaction with, because he fundamentally only cares about one thing and one thing only, and that is just power, right? Like, that's all he fundamentally really gives a shit about. He's just like a completely just out of touch sociopathic, like a complete utter sort of, I don't know, narcissist, I suppose at this point, who I mean, he probably thinks he's like fundamentally better than like literally anyone else. Like, I wouldn't be, I would make a bet that more than likely, Richie is probably thinking to himself why he's thinking like, well, so far this like interview has been pretty easy, kind of irrelevant nonsense. I could be doing like literally anything better, like I don't know, schmoozing some APAC donor to try to get more money or some shit. If I were to like take a bet with like Ritchie Torres, in terms of like, I don't know, all the shit that he fucking pushes for and advocates for. I don't know. It's one of those situations where like we're dealing with someone who is, for lack of a better term, just like a complete utter sociopath.
You hung out with adults.
I didn't socialize my teachers.
Yeah. No, so it was the first adult or person that was openly gay.
Yeah,
that
because I grew up in a world where no one was openly gay.
Yeah.
And I just spontaneously came out. It was the first time I ever had to acknowledge my sexuality to someone.
Do you feel like sharing your story, like, and making it all the way to Congress, that has to be an inspiration to people that grew up in a place like that? No? That must feel good, no?
It does.
So why are you diminishing it on the
I'm
show
not
right now?
diminishing it, but I feel...
You should be proud of that. I was in the New Yorker yesterday. You were.
I was in the New Yorker as well.
Oh.
Back in 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
New
was in
Yorker
yesterday. So
College.
both of us are probably same. Yeah.
But you're on a much higher level than I was.
No, you were 2016. You were a Bernie delegate.
I was.
Yeah.
2016.
So wait. So go back to that because it's interesting to me. So like you had this mental health crisis in college.
Really? I didn't know that Ritchie Torres was a fucking... he was a fucking Bernie-crat. Interesting. Huh. Well, I guess we all know how that ended up fucking happening and shit like that. The idea that fucking Ritchie Torres was a fucking Bernie-crat is fucking insane to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. And did it stem? It stemmed from being gay. Is that what it was?
Not only from I had a sexual identity, but I had a severe struggle with depression.
Yeah.
Which began in high school.
Yeah.
But then became worse in college, and I dropped out of college, and at some point even thought of committing suicide.
Yeah.
Underwent hospitalization. Felt as if the world around me had collapsed. But then I began like taking antidepressant, going through psychotherapy, and it just gave me a fighting chance to rebuild my life. So after a few years of hospitalization, I rebuilt my life and became the youngest elected official in America's largest city. I ran for the council, and then ultimately ran for the United States Congress, and here I am.
And it was a few years that you were going through that. Yeah. And so, and what did you do once you got out? How did you restart your life?
Well, instead of going back to school, I went into politics. So I was a housing
straight into politics for
I was a housing organizer for New York City Council member, and then I ran for public office myself.
I would move to like France or something.
I couldn't afford to move to France.
Yeah.
I grew up poor.
You can figure it out. Yeah. You get a ticket. You get to France. I don't know.
That's a good point, Boy Meets Mini. Yeah, I do agree with that. A lot of people did just hop on the Bernie train without actually believing in it. Basically, like, I don't know if this is the case for Ritchie Torres, although I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if it was the case, because again, people like Ritchie Torres, complete utter like narcissistic fucking sociopaths. people like him will just do literally anything in order to acquire even just a small like morsel of fucking power, like anything possible in order to sort of obtain the ability to get within the annals of fucking power, and like nothing else really like matters to people like stuff in terms of like people like this. Like, who cares? I'm in power, I don't give a shit, like fuck you, suck my dick kind of a deal.
Busk, do you know guitar?
No.
You get a guitar, put the I don't know. Obviously, to run for office, you have to have a call to public service.
Yeah.
You guys all say that, but like you have to have an ambition, like as well, right? There has to be part of it, right? Like I want to do.
I think an ambition to make a difference.
Yeah, but you want to be. I want to be the president of the United States. You know, come on.
I have no desire to be president.
Is your ambition purely just to make a difference? I mean, it's a very abstract term too. What's your dream? You know?
My goal is to be the best elected official I can be, and then let the rest take care of itself.
That doesn't work for me.
Works for me.
You can say like I want to make sure that.
I mean, I would love to be.
Say a better thing. Like I want to make sure that kids in my neighborhood could like have a better life or something. Saying the best that you could be is so abstract. You could vote for anything. No.
This is actually a pretty good point here by Adam, right? Like really, Richie, you have like no way to sort of just be like some form of like aspirational sort of story. Like every fucking politician has that fucking story, right? Like, oh, I was the best kid for like whatever the fuck, and I always had this dream to be X, Y, and Z kind of an individual because of the, whatever fucking bumblefuck reason or some shit. Every fucking politician has their story, right? Like, even if it's like personally like well, generally speaking, very often it's a fucking lie. I don't know. Like, I think it's just kind of like emblematic of just the psychopathy. I'm gonna say like psychopathy, the general sort of like abstemious like weirdness and strangeness that like Ritchie Torres is as like an individual. Yeah, I think I can agree with that here, Boy Meets Mini. He is trying to go for like peak politician, but like I think it's one of those things where I don't know. I feel like with like people like Ritchie Torres, I think it's like honestly like to a fucking worse degree, because was he like an acolyte of like Schumer or Pelosi or something, or am I thinking of someone else? No, I'm thinking of Hakeem Jeffries.
I mean, I can tell you why I ran into public office.
Which is what?
It was really about public housing. So born and raised in the Bronx, spent most of my life in poverty, and raised by a single mother, raised us on minimum wage, which in the 1990s was $4.25 an hour.
That's ridiculous.
But the most formative experience of my life was growing up in public housing. And in New York City, there's an institution known as the New York City Housing Authority, NYCHA, which manages the largest stock of public housing in the country. It houses about 500,000 people. And it's been so chronically underfunded by the federal government that it has a capital need of $80 billion in counting.
And is that issue something that affects your constituents? Because you represent the poorest district.
And I represent one of the largest concentrations of public housing in the country.
Yeah.
And so you have like asthmatics who are struggling to breathe in their homes.
You live in unsafe circumstances as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up without heat and hot water, molded conditions, leaky conditions. Like these conditions, the living conditions of public housing have become a humanitarian crisis.
And
I think if NYCHA were a city unto itself, it would be the largest city of low-income Black and brown Americans in the United States. And it's the
I find it really hilarious that Ritchie Torres wanted to join Congress just for fucking goddamn to try to do anything about the fucking housing crisis with public housing, and he ended up becoming one of AIPAC's largest fucking stooges. I find that fucking ridiculous. Like it's just crazy. Like we've all talked about before, like the sort of like the road to good intentions is. God, I'm gonna butcher the fucking saying because I'm really bad at sayings. The like road to good intentions is, or the road to hell is paved with good intentions. There we go. That's the fucking saying. I remembered. And it's just like, dog, it's so fucking crazy how this is just a story that seems to be utterly consistent with like politicians in particular. They just end up being like some of the fucking largest fucking sociopaths.
forgotten city of New York.
In representing the poorest district in America, one of the smallest districts too, right?
The most contiguous and compact district, yeah. And it was even more so before redistricting.
And you have a third of your district lives under the poverty line. Is that correct?
It's the lowest income district. About a third of the district is enrolled in SNAP. 70% is enrolled in Medicaid.
A third of the.
I believe also didn't Zora Mamdani also perform really, really well within Ritchie Torres's fucking district, like very, very well. Hey, DSA, you want to get rid of fucking Ritchie Torres? I don't know. I wonder, like, I don't even know if we're gonna know what like Ritchie Torres's fucking like approval rating is. I'm assuming it's probably not very high. I mean, general approval rating of the Democrats is generally not really, really high because people don't really fucking like them because they don't believe in anything. But you know, that's like a point that has been consistently belabored at this point. Like talking about how much the Democrats suck.
About a third are born in other countries. Is that correct?
Significant immigrant population.
Yeah. What is the mandate that you have in D.C. representing those people?
is to make government work for the Bronx, to protect critical programs like Medicaid, SNAP, Medicare, Social Security.
Is that what you carry with you when you're in Congress? Is that what you consider when you're like in a committee hearing or something?
Everything should be centered around the Bronx.
Yeah.
And for me, the Bronx is not only where I live, it's who I am.
Yeah.
I tell my constituents, even when I leave the Bronx for Washington, D.C., the Bronx never leaves me. The most important lesson my mother taught me is never forget where you came from, and I'm from the Bronx. And I've lived in the Bronx my whole life, and I probably will die in the Bronx.
Guys, DraftKings Casino has your playbook for gaming action all season long. Play thousands.
Whoa! An ad. Holy shit, that was a long fucking ad. Jesus Christ. Listen, gamble safely.
Back to the episode.
Gamble
something
safely.
Interesting that's happened in the Bronx is in the last general election, from what I understand, there was the largest swing towards the Republican Party.
One of the largest. In 2012, Barack Obama won 96% of the vote in New York 15 in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Flash forward to the 2024 election, there's more than 22 points swing for Donald Trump.
Why is the Democratic Party losing the most vulnerable people in America then? What do you attribute that?
The Democratic Party is hemorrhaging support among working class people of color throughout the country.
Why is that?
Occam's razor holds the simplest explanation is almost always the best. The simple explanation is inflation and immigration.
Yeah.
We had the highest inflation in more than 4 decades. So if you're paying double or triple the cost of groceries and gasoline, you're going to lash out at those in power, at the establishment.
You say that the incumbency is just bound to lose that election.
If the incumbency is perceived as failing, yes.
Was there a way to win that election against Trump? If inflation is so bad, is it impossible to win that election?
The odds were stacked against us because of inflation and the mismanagement of the migrant crisis. If we had the benefit of a full primary process, and if we had a stronger general election candidate, maybe we could have won.
So he wants to blame. He wants to blame immigration for us the reason why. That's not the main reason why Democrats fucking lost. It's because the Democrats fundamentally as a party just doesn't believe in anything. That's the real main issue with what's going on with the Democratic Party. They don't fundamentally believe in anything. That's the real sort of main problem that's going on with the Democratic Party. They're just a party that nobody thinks has any fundamental beliefs. It's really fucking strange that he's just willing to just be like, oh yeah, it's all because of immigration and everything, which is giving into specifically conservative framing. That's not the main reason as to why the Democrats lost with a lot of, I would say, minority populations. I think that the main contributing factor, I would rather say, is the fact that people, broadly speaking, sort of sense that, well, these guys over here, the Democrats, they're not really fighting for me or not really doing much of anything for me. So I don't know. We'll just throw our hat in the ring for this wild card factor, Donald Trump or something. Maybe he'll make my life better or some shit. Which, I mean, obviously, in hindsight, that's fucking stupid and whatnot. But listen, when it comes to the thoughts and beliefs of your average fucking voter, we all know the meme of man, we taught this chimpanzee what the average thoughts and beliefs of the average American voter is, and it fucking ended up shooting itself because a lot of it is just very incredibly fucking incoherent. Torres threw his hat in the ring for the 2026 governor race. He's only polling at 10% amongst 10% amongst Den voters. Hochul is at 64%. Yeah, he's not very popular.
But I don't know for sure. But Donald Trump is a fatally flawed candidate, so maybe we could win.
You're a member of the least popular Congress probably of our lifetime?
I think we're less popular than colonoscopies.
It sucks, dude. Yeah, does it suck to be the least?
I think there was polling that said we're more popular than cockroaches, but we're less. And more popular, barely more popular than Ebola.
You guys are losing Hamas for sure.
Yeah, well.
You guys are getting crushed by
Hamas might be more popular on college campuses than Congress.
Oh, okay. Okay, anyway. But I looked at a Gallup poll the other day. Dude, I was actually started laughing. You just have to laugh at this. You guys are 23 right now. That's not bad.
Higher than
That's high.
Yeah.
You guys, what is this? Oh my God, May 2024, 13?
It means we have room for growth.
13.
Yeah.
But that's you and the Republicans. 13.
Yeah, well, the institution at large.
13 is you poop your pants in front of the whole school. February 2024, 12%.
Yeah, so it sounds
what's
like
happening that month?
if Congress were a woman, you probably wouldn't go on a date with her. So.
Why?
Yeah, people hate their current elected
What should be,
officials
beautiful-
a lot.
What do you mean?
No, you seem to hate Congress, though.
I'm saying everyone does, right? I'm looking at the Gallup poll.
You're part of the
True,
30%
people are getting
You have
crushed
to
by
recognize the
Hamas.
runway a little bit and what got us here, maybe.
Yeah,
Seeing the Marine Corps entering the second largest city in America, and seeing the most vulnerable people in society just taken away from their children and kidnapped, and there are facilities in our country right now surrounded by alligators. There are facilities where there are cages with human beings in them who have not been afforded any due process. And the sad thing is that you guys are you're polling behind Donald Trump right now, and
That's not true.
the Democratic Party has lower approval ratings than Donald Trump.
I think the story's more complicated there.
What is that?
Yeah, so the latest polling from CNN shows that the most important issue to Americans is inflation, the cost of living. And on the most important issue, Donald Trump is 25 points underwater. And since the November election, there's been a 34-point swing against him, and that we as Democrats are more trusted on inflation than he is. That's a huge swing.
Why are you guys not killing him right now? That is,
Wait, but that's still not incongruent with what Adam was also saying, right? He's saying that the Democratic Party is currently underwater in general, right? It's not just as simple as just there's a lot of complicated reasonings with why people do not approve the fucking Democratic Party, because a lot of people have this sense, like I've said before, that the Democrats just don't believe in or stand for anything. like if there's any instance where the Democrats could show a backbone or a spine to try to do something about, I know, a particular issue, they seem to lose the will to fight and immediately, well, capitulate to the Republican Party. Well, that's why people, broadly speaking, feel like the Democrats are just like a dead, dying, failing party because they don't really believe in anything. I mean, I've said this exact same point before, but the thing is with the Democratic Party is that they are trying to obtain a lot of the exact same sort of like billionaire donors and backers similar to that of the Republican Party. And, well, generally speaking, not very, very popular amongst the populace, right? People really do not like the fact that the rich people are able to get away with not being able to pay as much taxes. Everyone thinks that the rich specifically need to be taxed more. As like for a quick particular example, right? Like that corporations should also pay their fair share of taxes, and they very, very easily like agree with, depending on how the question is framed, of course. Very, very often they talk about how they support a lot of very progressive legislation. Like, I mean, we've seen all the different ballot measures in like different Republican states and whatnot. They have a lot of support for a lot of different fucking progressive issues, but Congress never wants to fight for any of them. So, generally speaking, a lot of people feel like, well, like these guys aren't for me. They're not going to fight for me. Like, why should I believe anything they say? Yeah, and exactly, like anyone who like if someone believes anything within the Democratic Party, as you're saying, Boy Meets Me, they're going to fucking crush them, like they're trying to do with fucking Zoran Mamdani, and like they did with Omar Fateh when they basically tried to do everything possible to sabotage the DFL endorsement that he got, which they were fucking successful in.
That is a cherry pick. Come on. You know, that's a
I mean, inflation is the most important issue.
I want to talk to you guys about Monarch money. Sometimes it's tough to remember where all your
another ad.
You know, you're in the House of Representatives, and you have to run every 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you have to wait till you just start running for the next one after you win an
I
election?
mean, you start immediately.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a constant state of campaigning.
Is a campaign?
Yeah, that's kind of a problem, right? Like, one of the biggest problems with Congress, fundamentally speaking, is the fact that, well, one of the most important branches of Congress is expected to be constantly fucking campaigning. I mean, I've talked about this before, but the sort of idea that the expectation for congressional members is the fact that they have to be consistently campaigning instead of, you know, doing what they are, which is doing what they're supposed to be doing for Congress, which is their dutiful duty for representing the constituencies of America, might be a bit of an issue, you know? Like, personally, I think that people should not be having to campaign constantly at all times in order to be able to sort of, well, you know, for lack of a better term, be a part of fucking Congress. You know, I think it might be a bit of a problem, in fact.
And go to fundraisers, do all this stuff. Is that a distraction from the work that you have to do?
It can, but I feel like if you're effective at governing, then it improves your ability to get reelected. So if you're a good congressman, you're going to be popular in your district and you're going to be well positioned to be reelected.
Does it suck that you have to fundraise, right?
It sucks. Fundraising sucks.
Yeah. And like because of Citizens United, like
it's nauseating to ask people for money. Yeah.
do you feel like it's eroded people's like faith in the institution, right?
I feel like too much money is too much time to spend on fundraising, especially if you're a frontline member who has a fiercely contested general election every 2 years where tens of millions of dollars are spent. You could be spending more than half your time every week
at a banquet,
or just call time, just dialing for dollars.
You were criticized, I saw, for Blackstone donation, right? And it's understood that they are the architects of the housing crisis, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you receive contributions from thousands of people who are employees from all over the place.
You can send it back, say fuck off.
Yeah, I'm not.
So they're giving you a check just because?
I decide issues on the merits. I don't know what others do, but I decide issues on the merits.
So is it just because check?
I love how Ritchie Torres is immediately like, you know, I'm not willing to turn down a particular a donation from fucking BlackRock. Like, Ritchie, like you can just say like, you know what? No, personally, BlackRock, you guys suck and are like Adam fucking said himself, a big reason for as to why there's a fucking housing crisis within America.
Just
like,
because
they're just giving.
Like, you can just say no, right? Like, that's like part of the problem that I have with a lot of like, especially conservatives and like conservative Democrats. For whatever reason, they seemingly don't understand. For whatever reason, that they also have agency within like the stuff that they can do. Like, you can make decisions yourself. You're an adult, you know. Like, you can just say like, you know what, you guys are part of the reason why America is as shit as it is. I'm not going to accept your donations. You can go fuck yourself. You can just be like, no, smile, and just move on with your life. Like, it's one of those things where it's you say it and it seems like extremely obvious, but for whatever reason within like for people in Congress, like they just can never seem to bring themselves to be able to do it, which is why a lot of people have, well, broadly speaking, I would say have lost a lot of faith within the broader electoral process, especially in America.
You money just because they think you're nice?
I'm pretty sure that even there are lefty candidates who have got money from people who are employed. Yeah, rank and file employees, sure.
I figure like you could maybe if you're like this guy's. This guy's making my constituents' lives.
Yeah,
worse.
exactly.
You
Boy,
could be like, fuck you, I don't want it. I'm gonna say.
Oh, like this is why I totally agree with that. Like this is why a parliamentary system is better, 1000%, right? Like, making it such that you don't have to campaign as often, making it such that you don't have to do like all the like constant schmoozing for dollars in cash as much as you have to in order to be able to be able to mount like an effective fucking campaign. Like you don't have to do any of that as much if you have like less frequent campaigning, parliamentary system, different parties being able to be represented. It's bunch of different factors that can help contribute to the fact that you don't have to spend as much fucking time campaigning. There's regulations. I've talked about this concept before, but the halls of Congress are completely and utterly broken. There's a reason why their approval rating is as low as it is, right?
Blue district, right?
People should judge you by my record. So yeah, the legislation I pass.
Yeah,
I work 7 days a week. I'm visible in my district. I'm on the ground. I'm happy to.
Yeah.
If you ever want to take tours of my district, I'm happy to walk you through my district.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, I've been to the zoo in Yankee Stadium.
Right. Well, not the actual projects, not the amenities, not the institutions.
Yeah.
I can give you a sense of racially concentrated poverty in a place like the Bronx.
So that's what my question is. Is like,
where do you live? Which borough?
I live in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's my question. Like,
so you might be
like,
divorced from the experience of racially concentrated
but
poverty.
what does that have to do with taking money from blacks? Like, I just feel like that's a deflection.
Well,
And I don't want to. I don't want to like an argument right now.
If you want to question my ability to represent my district, I'm happy to show you what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to bring you my district.
What I'm calling
And
into
introduce you to my
question.
constituents.
What I'm calling
And
into question is the institution, right? I'm calling into question the system, and you're functioning within a system, right?
I've received contributions from tens of thousands of people. I can't keep track of every person. I'm not responsible for every person.
I mean, again, like how much corporate back, like, what's the name of the site? It's somethingsecrets.com. Like you can directly take a look because a lot of these campaign contributions that Ritchie Torres gets has to be it has to be like known. You have to be known. Open Secrets. Thank you, Boy Meets Mini. Like Open Secrets. You can see directly a lot of contributions that people like Ritchie Torres gets, like because it's by law. OpenSecrets.com, I assume. That is definitely not it. Open Secrets campaign donations. Here it is. Fall into money. Politicians, members of Congress. Search for a member. Ritchie Torres. Top industry. Gets a lot of money from securities and investments. Here's APAC, of course, and this is from the years of 2023 to 2024, so he gets a lot of stuff from securities and investments firms. Makes sense, he's in fucking New York. A lot of investment firms operate out of New York because New York Stock Exchange is right there. We have, of course, APAC. Lots of money he gets from fucking APAC. NORPAC. Ooh, he gets about $62,000 from Blackstone. Interesting. That's a decent wad of cash that he gets from fucking Blackstone. I have no idea who the fucking Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher is. KKR and Co. In terms of the industry, gets even a fucking industry breakdown. From lawyers and law firms, 550,000 real estate firms. If we're talking about again the housing crisis that's within the U.S., there's a reason why Ritchie Torres does not push for a lot of legislation that would be that's pro-housing policy. Look at how much money he gets from fucking real estate firms. About almost $1 million. Of course, he's incredibly pro-Israel. APAC Tracker has constantly talked about how he is one of the highest people who gets donations specifically from fucking APAC. Of course, securities and investments companies. Like, this is why, again, broadly speaking, I've talked about this concept before, why people do not like Congress and do not trust a lot of shit that fucking Congress does, because they know that they get a lot of fucking money and they're just out of touch elitists.
You forgot.
I'm only responsible for what I do.
Okay. So you
can play the gotcha game, but that's not.
I'm not trying to play the gotcha game. I think you're used to like Anderson Cooper 360, and I'm from Come Town Podcast.
I'm happy to answer whatever question you have.
Here's a question for you.
Here's a question for you. I think you've established yourself as the fiercest champion of the state of Israel in Congress.
I've never described myself in those terms.
I'm
pro-Israel, but those are terms.
Well, I think maybe you've been dubbed that.
Yes.
Okay, listen, like I'm a Jewish person,
Yeah.
like I have my own opinions on this. You have your own opinions, and this is a really frustrating conversation to see people have on the internet. I don't get an opportunity to talk to someone that's making decisions and supporting these things that are a huge deal to people right now.
Sure.
Yeah. One thing that I thought was interesting, and I want to start with you, is that you described your first trip to Israel in 2015 as a life-changing experience, and I just wanted to follow the narrative of like you growing up and your struggles, and then going into the government. Like, what was that experience like, and what bred that passion for Israel in you?
Well, since I grew up poor my whole life, I never had an opportunity to travel abroad.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever
Free trip.
went to a foreign
So
country.
it was life-changing because you went on a
Part of
trip.
the reason went abroad for the first time, life-changing. But also, when you experience the complex.
So that's kind of like the main problem specifically with a lot of people in Congress, like in terms of being offered free trips specifically by the state of Israel. And I mean that's like basically the intention, right? It's meant to sort of like sell the propaganda and ingratiate people in the minds of like the state of fucking Israel. There's a reason why a lot of members of fucking Congress are specifically given, well, all expenses free paid trips to Israel to just check out just how awesome and wonderful the, well, apartheid system and the genocide that the fucking Israelis are constantly committing. Yeah, like, first outing from your country, to an apartheid state. Yeah, a little weird, bro.
Complexity of Israel.
Yeah.
Go to the old
What did
city.
you see? Like, what did you witness? Like,
We'll go to the old city.
yeah.
Go
I've
to
been there.
Yad Vashem, which is the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah.
Go to the Masada, where the Jews committed suicide to escape
Of
enslavement.
course, I've hiked on Masada.
The Gaza envelope.
Yeah.
Went to State Road. Spoke to the local mayor who said that.
You went to Gaza?
I did not go to Gaza. No.
Would you say Gaza envelope?
No, Gaza envelope, which is right on the border with. It's Israel. But it's right at the border with Gaza.
It's right next to the
Yeah,
fence.
it's in proximity to.
What's at the Gaza envelope?
Like,
I've never heard that
State
term
Road.
before.
State Road.
Yeah, with the rockets.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. How far is State Road from Gaza? It's like a mile or
Yeah,
something.
within a mile.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, again, fucking a Gaza envelope, like, all these, like, strange fucking terms that have to be consistently, like, brought up in order to sort of, I don't know, like, it's the Gaza Strip. Like, why are we doing this, like, I don't know, really strange, like, pussyfooting around and bullshit like that? I always find that to be particularly off.
It's right next to it.
Yeah, striking proximity.
Tough. It's a small place.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, that's why Hamas was able to so easily penetrate on October 7th.
By getting over the fence.
Yeah, and it's so close.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just want to know because it seems like it was powerful, and
Yes.
it seems like it's informed your record, and I that's what's interesting to me. It's like
Yes.
your story and how you got here, and like I think it's narratively what fascinates
Maybe
me.
one day you'll give me a chance to tell it. So.
Why are you
I'm
annoyed
kidding.
by this
I'm
question?
kidding. So I spoke to the local mayor of State Road,
Yeah.
and he said to me that the majority of his children struggle with post-traumatic stress
Uh-huh.
because families like his live under the threat of relentless rocket fire. And I remember seeing these bus stops doubling as bomb shelters. I come from the Bronx where people live in fear of bullets and guns, but we in America do not worry about Canada and Mexico firing rockets into American homes and communities. We're a country of 330 million people. We're surrounded by oceans and.
Guys, I wonder why a lot of people, like a lot of Palestinians, might not be very particularly happy with the treatment that they're receiving from specifically the state of Israel. I couldn't possibly think of anything in particular,
Israel's a tiny democracy the size of New Jersey that's literally surrounded by both state and non-state actors that are intent on wiping it off the map. So, I left Israel with empathy for the unique security situation that Israel faces.
Did you visit the occupied territories? While you were there?
I went to not Gaza, but I went to the Palestinian Ramallah. So.
Yeah, Ramallah.
Yeah.
And what did you see when you were there?
We spoke to Palestinians who obviously have a much more critical view of Israel. And
And that didn't resonate as much as what was your takeaway from hearing
Look,
hearing the mayor say his children have PTSD, and then this guy's like Israel's screwing with me.
well, look, I'm in favor of a two-state solution.
Sure.
I feel like the just outcome lies not in the existence of a Jewish state to the exclusion of a Palestinian state, or the existence of a Palestinian state to the exclusion of a Jewish state. It's a coexistence of both. So I think I want to see the struggle, both the Israeli and the Palestinian struggle for self-determination, to be reconciled in the form of a two-state solution.
A big topic nowadays is campus act.
Well, I mean, again, we've talked about the problems with a fucking two-state fucking solution. The fundamental structure of apartheid will remain in place. So, fundamentally speaking, that's why it's like farcical to assume that the two-state solution is going to be as successful as like all these motherfuckers seemingly think it's going to be. Like, a lot of these dudes who are just like, yeah, dude, man, we're gonna totally have a two-state fucking solution. It's gonna be really, really epic and poggers and fantastic and excellent. It's just like, dog, the reason why a lot of people are also just not down with the fucking two-state solution is because, like I'm mentioning right now, the fundamental root cause and root basis as to why the Palestinians are, well, for lack of a better term, struggling in the way that they are, is because, like, generally speaking, people are just not going to be interested in doing what is necessary to have a two-state solution, because one side of that fucking coin, that being the side of the Israelis, of course, is not interested in having rapport with people that are also living in their state. Like, that's the main fucking problem here. Like, it's not gonna fucking work. It's gonna be a complete shit show disaster.
Anti-Semitism.
Yep.
You've spoken out against it. I just want to know what you identify as the examples of this type of anti-Semitism in elite academic institutions.
Yeah, so there were students at a CUNY Halal, where you had a violent, what I thought was an aggressive mob following them to a kosher restaurant in the heart of New York City. And
what were they doing in the mob? What was the mob doing?
just following them, and then barricaded the restaurant and
You're like chanting?
hurled insults at the patrons and slamming the windows. Much of it is captured in video footage. And, harassing people simply for being.
What's the what is he talking about? Do we know? What? Let's say, what is it? Jewish New Yorkers getting followed by a mob. Sure. I'm curious. I wanna see this claim. Mob of Orthodox Jewish men chased Brooklyn woman after mistaking her for protester against Israeli security minister. That's a little different. NYPD harassment of Jewish woman. Okay, how about Jewish New Yorkers getting followed by pro-Palestine protesters? Sure. There's got to be a report about this, right? Well, we're still getting the Orthodox Jewish men thing. I'm trying to see, like, if someone could also in chat provide the claim. Like, what is Ritchie Torres exactly talking about here? I'm curious, right? Like, what is this? Who's behind the pro-Palestinian protests? Again, this is still the thing about the Orthodox Jewish men. Pro-Palestinian protesters caused disturbance outside New York Stock Exchange. Well, that's a protest. That's not the thing that we're particularly looking for. I'm not really finding anything. You know, I'm trying to find this claim here by Ritchie Torres. And it's not passing the fucking smell test. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not fucking detecting anything. Anyone finding anything? Listen, can be provided in chat. I'm not finding anything in terms of the claim here by Ritchie Torres. Again, Palestinian protesters. The protests themselves were like mostly fucking peaceful, right? I say mostly because, like, I mean, technically anything can fucking happen. They were fucking peaceful, right? Like, the idea that basically there's a bunch of, like, roving bands of, like, pro-Palestinian protesters, like, gallivanting about doing everything possible to make it more miserable for, like, Jewish students is, well, for lack of a better term, just complete nonsense. And yes, I was just about to say boy meets many. The people who are generally inciting violence during the fucking during the protests were on the side of Israel. It was the fucking Zionists who were the main people that were inciting more fucking violence in comparison to that of the pro-Palestinian side. Very, very often, a lot of people who were a part of the and there's like videos about this as well. Like, you can fucking find the videos of like dudes who are pro fucking Zionist, basically going directly to the cops and being like, yo, like there's like protesters here and they're causing like a disturbance and shit like that, blah 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 blah. There's videos about this, like, of Zionists working directly with the fucking police departments in order to crack down on the fucking protesters. Like, that's not ridiculous or hyperbolic to say. There's videos of this. Like, listen, we can find it, right? Zionist counter protester talking with police. What new footage? Exclusive. Zionist appears to direct police on whom to arrest during London Gaza march. Well, that's in London. It was also happening in New York. Warned of Jewish protests. Campaign to smear Palestinian protests. Met police push a pro-Palestinian Jewish woman. Right? Like, the main people who have been doing the violence has been the police. Like, even on, like, staff and teachers, they've also been doing the fucking violence. Like, that's why. And yeah, 1000% boy meets mini. Like, the Zionists know that the fucking goddamn police are not going to do anything to them, so that's why they do it. Like, it's purely fucking intended just for, I don't know, the suffering of fucking Palestinians. I don't think there's like really any other way to put it besides they just want Palestinians to suffer. Like that's really about it.
Pro-Israel Jews to me is wrong.
Is there any other examples? Like, there's a restaurant. I mean, it's just like all we're hearing about is campus anti-Semitism,
I mean,
radical. Like, is there a link between Hamas and the protests? Like, is that established?
There are students who have faced harassment and intimidation because of their beliefs. There are students who feel inhibited from expressing their Jewish or Zionist identity because of the atmosphere of intimidation or harassment on college campuses. You should speak to this.
How have they?
Are you denying that there's any campus anti-Semitism?
Well, I'll give you an example. I know a younger person that went to UCLA and was attacked and is Jewish and was with a group of Jewish people at a protest, and they were attacked by the Proud Boys.
That's true.
That's an anti-Semitic incident.
No, but the Proud Boys were there for Israel, and those are the guys that did
The Proud
Charlottesville.
Boys are there for Israel?
Yeah.
I think the Proud Boys is like white nationalists and white supremacists.
I'm telling you right now.
Time for the obfuscation. Yeah, Ritchie Torres, like, oh, what do you mean? The fucking fascists are pro-Israel? Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes fucking perfect sense. Like, dog, like, they're the ones who are simping for fucking Israel the most. Like, yeah, obviously they're gonna be pro fucking Zionist. It makes perfect fucking sense. Yeah, there's Zionist identity. Yeah. The colonizer identity. Very, very commonplace.
Listen, I'm like a comedian, right? Like, I hate when comedians, especially on the internet, like speak from a position of authority with like about crap that they don't know about. You know, this is one topic I feel like I can speak on, and
on college campus anti-Semitism?
No, on anti-Semitism.
In general, because you haven't been in college how long? Well, 2 decades. Right?
I'm telling you my experience of anti-Semitism in the last 2 years. But the last 2 years have felt different in America. And I don't know if you've been on Twitter recently. Now a ton of people are questioning the validity of the Holocaust having happened.
Yes.
Can you tell me with a straight face that those are the 18-year-old kids at Columbia that are doing that?
The 18-year-old kids at Columbia?
Are they doing those posts about the Holocaust never having existed? You know who's doing it.
No, we disagree here.
You think that it's the...
So don't put words in my mouth.
Wait, is Ritchie Torres gonna make the fucking argument that it's pro-Palestinian people that are making the pro-fucking Nazi arguments? And not the Nazis? Okay, bro. Nice meme.
It's people on the right. Let me tell you.
You're suggesting there's no one on the far left that denies the Holocaust? Or downplays the Holocaust? That's
what? You're doing moot court right
now. Alright, now we're starting to get into the fucking real, like, stupid meme tier shit. Like, dog, what the fuck are you talking about? No, that is complete, utter fucking nonsense. Like, what? Does he unironically fucking believe that that people within fucking the left wing are the main ones who are perpetrating like Holocaust fucking denial? Dude, if you go on fucking Twitter right now, the main people who are talking about the non-validity of the or not non-validity, but the non-existence of the Holocaust are all right-wingers. Literally, the recent fucking shooter was a Nazi who was also denying the fucking Holocaust, writing things on the fucking like magazines of the gun that she used, saying like 6 million wasn't enough. That person's a Nazi, Richie, not fucking pro-Palestinian protesters. Jesus Christ, man.
I'll tell you what it's like to be my experience being Jewish.
But there are other
I'm trying to see. Why is one better than the other? Why is one more important than the other? I'm trying to share with you. You're the government. I don't get a chance to talk. Okay. I think hatred of Jewish people has exploded in this country, and I don't think it's. I think it's
Adam is correct here.
Of what
like Adam is just 1,000% correct here. Yeah, hatred of Jewish people has exploded within like the United States of America. Like it has, like broadly fucking speaking, like. In terms of like anti-fucking Semitic incidents that have been going on as a result of, well, a lot of Zionists, and we talked about this before, but Zionists very often blur the line between being, Jewish and Zionist. Being a Zionist does not equate to being a Jew. Do not get it fucking twisted, all right? Not the fucking same shit under any fucking circumstance. Israel specifically does that conflation all the time because they see it as a way for basically being able to be like, to kowtow their genocide of the Palestinian people in, well, a particular fucking language, saying that we are the safe state of Israel. We are the protectors of all fucking Jews, the Zionist state, right? And the problem with that should be extremely fucking obvious. By equating yourself with an ethno-nationalist, white supremacist based theory that its main express purpose is to build a Jewish-only state within the territory of fucking Palestine, people are going to start making some associations, might start to do some fucking conflations. That, again, people like Theodore Herschel himself and a lot of other pro-Zionists, theorists, and writers have talked about, saying like, oh yeah, like, we like the fact that these associations are being made. We are okay with the fact that a lot of anti-Semites basically associate, well, being Jewish with being Zionist because it helps further the fucking project, right? A lot of them fucking would have been big fans of the actions of a lot of fucking anti-Semites with like the Proud Boys and stuff like that. And the Proud Boys are okay with stuff like this as well because they see Israel as, well, an actual ethno-nationalist fucking project, something that they can fucking aspire to. They can do the whole like anti-Semitic, like moral preening and all this fucking bullshit, but they're not actually being, in reality, they don't actually give a fuck about that. Now, in the cases of right-wingers who are anti-Zionist, a lot of them do it off of the basis of the fact that they just are, simply put, anti-Semitic. That is not the case with a lot of left-wingers. For some, there can be for some, but they are a tiny fucking minority. Not the majority, as like Ritchie here is suggesting, right? Like, it's complete fucking nonsense.
To be an absolute brutality. And I think that...
You think that's a justification for anti-Semitism?
Here's the thing.
You think Israeli government policy is a justification for anti-Semitism? My view is
I
there's no
think
justification for
I
anti-Semitism.
think that...
There's zero justification for anti-Semitism.
Okay, you're deflecting again.
I'm not deflecting, that's my position.
What does it look like to have a flag with a Jewish star and I'm Jewish? And for kids to be starving right now?
If-
And why is my
if-
government... I don't want to do this fight. Let's not do like a yelling at each other thing. I really just... For me, I have the experience of...
It just sounds like you're justifying anti-Semitism, which makes me feel
Are you crazy right now? Why would I do that?
That is actually, yeah. So this is the fucking main clip that's going around. Like, he thinks that Adam is justifying anti-Semitism because he's talking about, like, dog, the main problem is with the conflation that a lot of people, including, like, Ritchie Torres himself, does. The conflation between fucking Judaism and Zionism. Like, are you going to be fucking surprised about the fact that a lot of people are going to start equivocating a lot of the actions of fucking Israel and start attributing that to all fucking Jews? Very, very interesting. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's a very good link that you just posted there, Boy Meets Minute. Yeah, Zionism, what the fuck, Zionist or Nazi, where basically it goes through a bunch of fucking different clips, or not clips, but a bunch of different fucking quotes said by a lot of fucking prominent Nazis and Zionists, and the immediate pattern that you're going to see is just like, damn, a lot of these seem to overlap and correlate. Very, very fucking interesting, which should tell you something about the main basis for as to why Zionism as a movement, as a political, as a colonial fucking project is bad. The reason why it is fucking bad is simply due to the fact that, crazy, fundamentally speaking, it is all about the ethno-fucking nationalism. That is what it's all about with fucking Zionism, which is why the equivocation with what Ritchie Torres is doing by saying that being anti-Zionist is being anti-Semitic is an extremely fucking dangerous one. And a lot of fucking Jews will talk about, like, yeah, this is actually, like, a really bad thing. And a lot of fucking scholars would also agree with that. Very, very fucking ridiculous. But, you know, as expected from fucking Ritchie Torres. He is one of Israel's fucking strongest soldiers, you know? He loves defending Israel. He loves the fucking AIPAC money that he gets.
You're doing the I'm Hamas thing?
I'm not
It's
saying
not a
you're
winner.
not, but it's, I'm not, I think
We'll
it should
do a different
the
tack.
Israeli government policy should have
I
no
think
bearing on. If you have disagreements with the Israeli government, you should voice your criticism of the Israeli government, but there is no justification for intimidation or harassment against American Jews.
I'm telling you as a Jew right now that we are receiving a lot.
Again, like, what fucking intimidation and fucking harassment is being received? Like, attacks on fucking synagogues have gone up. Not because of, like, left-wingers doing day fucking drum circles and day protests and stuff. No, because of anti-Semites attacking attacking those synagogues based off of the fact that they are just anti-fucking Semitic. Like, again, and with Ritchie Torres doing the conflationary bit that he seems to love doing consistently to justify the actions of the Israeli state, whoa, it only helps further contribute to anti-Semitism within the United States of America. Fucking, this is complete fucking nonsense, dude.
lot more hate because of what the people with the flag that has a Jewish star on are doing to other people right now.
That might
And
be
I'm telling you, as a Jewish person, how painful it is for us to say, and it hurts my stomach to say this. So you're going to say, I disagree, that this is a genocide. And that hurts to say that a Jew can do that.
Yep.
It hurts because we grew up with learning about what hatred is. We grew up learning about this.
Adam
The
is
same year
just
the state was
correct here.
established, 1948, the world saw the Holocaust, and they established standards for what a genocide is. It was the same year.
By the way, this was a video done specifically by Jacob Geller. Very, very good video talking about the failures of the Nuremberg trials. One of the biggest fucking reasons for as to why Nuremberg was as big of a failure as it was in prosecuting the fucking Nazis was because there was no standards for crimes against humanity established at that point, because no one really thought that something like this could fucking happen. Which, I mean, back in the fucking 1930s, I mean, stuff like this has already been fucking happening. Take a look at what happened with Native Americans within America, and also the Congo under King Leopold of Belgium. You know, millions of fucking people that you can also classify those as like broader sort of like crimes against fucking humanity. Like, that's why people were just like, they were just not ready for something like this. And for it to be as like crazy and fucking blatant as it was with the Holocaust is insane. This is an Eli Valley cartoon switching nationalities around the quotes to be by New York Times contributors. What's this? Yeah. New York Times Warsaw Ghetto Edition. Thought leaders at the most morally trenchant. There we go. Op-ed page in the country react to a Warsaw Jewish teenager shot dead in 1942 while trying to scale the ghetto wall. And again, very, very often, a lot of Israeli Jews, and this is another problem which heavily plays into the sort of like ethno-nationalist supremacist ideas that are being sort of talked about here. A lot of them will say and talk about how Jews who died in the fucking Holocaust were the weak Jews, and that the Zionist Jews are the stronger blooded fucking Jews. It is just an inherently incredibly fucking racist ethno-supremacist ideology, which is why it should be pushed back against vociferously. There's this very strange idea that if only Germany had allowed people to breach the border, then somehow they would have all set up an encampment and saying kumbaya. This beggar's belief, dying for a photo op is what happened. And I have no, like, if it was 1930s, I would not be surprised if fucking Barry Weiss said that. We have more people like fucking David Brooks, Thomas Friedland, Bret Stephens. These guys are all incredibly fucking pro-Zionist fucking op-ed writers constantly within the fucking New York Times. And these people are fucking psychos, man. Psychos.
And the world said that this shouldn't be a thing that happens. You know? And I just wonder, like, it doesn't make sense to me, what, I don't know, it doesn't track to me why there's this fixation with kids at a school that, and two examples of people at a restaurant that there was banging.
Two examples. I mean, there are surveys on it. Read the ADL surveys on it.
It's hard.
This is actually fucking ridiculous, man. Like, dude, Adam is being incredibly, like, heartfelt and is trying to, hey, like, honestly, he's trying to tee up Ritchie Torres to try to be, like, empathetic, to actually be, like, a fucking human. And he just can't do it. He can't do it. Like, I don't know, like, the idea that, like, a lot of people think that, like, Congress are just, like, occupied by a bunch of, like, different fucking lizard people is just, like, it's more and more being confirmed with, like, interviews like this. This should be an easy fucking slam dunk. This should be the easiest fucking thing on the planet. And Ritchie Torres, he just can't do it. He can't do it.
It's hard for me to talk about this in public because you're being a dick. That's mean.
No, I'm not being mean. It's an emotional topic.
All right, I'll share with you what happened.
I'm not.
I lived there. I lived there when I was 18, and I grew up a Zionist. And we were told, and our whole community in this country is told, that we have to defend Israel and love Israel because it will stop at the Holocaust. It will stop another Holocaust from happening. And my dad was born in 1951. That was 6 years after these atrocities. His friend's parents, he knew these people that had been through this hell, these skeletons. And it terrified us. And the understanding in our community is that we have to defend Israel. But I lived there, and I went to a settlement at the end of my year there, and I looked down a hill at a Palestinian village. I saw how they lived. I turned back and looked at the settlement and saw how they lived. And people live in a world where they're demeaned and dehumanized and surveilled constantly by people and this isn't in Gaza, by people in SWAT team outfits with semi-automatic weapons, and that's what the world is seeing. And
specifically what Adam is talking about here, and he's correct when he's bringing this up, this is what's going on in the fucking West Bank, where, by the way, I thought we were only trying to go after Hamas, Israel. Like, what happened? Why are we also trying to go after the fucking West Bank? Well, that's a little suspicious, isn't it?
keep telling me that the problem is someone's getting yelled at a restaurant, I'm sorry.
You're complaining to different issues. I don't
Please,
understand.
just please. Can you say
The fact that he's calling the main problem that he's having is that this is a fucking conflation is just incredible. Like, fundamentally, there is no humanity in like someone like this. He does not care about children bleeding and fucking dying in the fucking streets of fucking Gaza, because again, he's a complete utter fucking narcissistic fucking sociopath. This is some real fucking psycho behavior here.
this to you right now will hurt people in my own family, okay? Because this is a very important thing to us. And the fact that I still fucking care about being Jewish is embarrassing. I should just be a guy. But this feels like a stain on our history, and it feels like it's changed what being Jewish is. Because what being Jewish is it Israel. Judaism has existed for 4,000 years. This is a country for 75 years. You know, like, it is one of the oldest monotheistic religions. Anti-Semitism is one of the oldest forms of hatred. People in my life are going to be mad at me about this, but I'm saying this because I am Jewish. You know, and I don't understand why you would be.
Look how you define.
I
I feel like I'm here to be lectured, not.
Shut up. That's not nice. You can't talk that way. Why? What?
I feel like I'm here to be fucking lectured, dog. Like, come on. Richie, you're okay with the starving and bombing of fucking children, man. Like, come on, bro.
I'm not here to be fucking lectured by this stupid dumb fuck comedian who doesn't know anything about my ardent defense for fucking Israel.
Like, come on, bro. Like, children are fucking dying. Like, are you actually fucking crazy? I like how they keep cutting to Richie and he's just sitting there like adult. Well, I mean, like, fundamentally speaking, he's just a fucking sociopath who's just okay with fucking genocide. Like, that's the only, like, assumption you can make in this particular instance. He doesn't give a fuck that children are suffering and dying. That's all that there is to it.
One set of Jews, but more than others.
No one's saying any.
What happened? You went to the beach in Israel? What, you went to a restaurant or something? A nice restaurant? Like, listen.
Never been to the Tel Aviv Pride Parade.
This is the year 2025.
Yeah.
The world is seeing something that looks terrible, and it's being done in my name, and I don't know what to do.
But the war began on October 7th.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Yes,
You're
when Hamas
ignoring-
systematically murdered and made. You went.
Okay.
Look,
The war began on fucking October's. First off, again, calling this what's going on in Gaza a fucking war is hilarious to me. Like, we know exactly, like, what's fucking going on there at this point. Like, in the northern parts of fucking Gaza, at this point, like, all the Israelis are doing is just bombing the shit out of rubble, and they just keep bombing the shit out of fucking rubble. Like, there's no Hamas there. There's nothing there for them. They just keep bombing the absolute living fuck out of them because, again, as I've been saying consistently, the point is the fucking ethnic cleansing. The point is, well, the fucking suffering at this point. Like, we all know, and it's been talked about before, like, I don't know, ad infinitum at this point, but they want to reoccupy the fucking Gaza Strip. Like, at this point, there's been fucking plans drawn up. There's a bunch of different bullshit also happening behind the scenes in fucking Israel with the fucking state of Israel. They want to redo the fucking occupation they had from what would have been during 2007, 2006, something like that. I could be misremembering the year exactly, right? And, well, they got fucking kicked out. Well, not kicked out. They were forced out because of, well, people in Gaza fucking resisting because no one was fucking tolerating any of that fucking bullshit, right? Like, everyone was fucking pissed about it. And the Israelis were forced to retreat as a result. And they're trying to basically redo the exact same fucking shit. That's the point of all this. And Richie's just gonna, like, sit there being like, well, you know, I'm more concerned and want to focus more on the fucking anti-Semitism that's, like, going on, like, college campuses and all this fucking bullshit. Like, that's why, like, a lot of this shit, like, in the minds of most young people, it rings completely fucking hollow. It just rings hollow.
We're going down a rabbit hole. We fundamentally disagree.
no.
But Hamas murdered and maimed and mutilated and abducted and tortured thousands of people. That's not television. That's a fact. That's reality. You can deny it. You can
I'm not
downplay
denying
it.
October
but-
7th.
Well, you seem to be.
You're doing I'm pro October 7th. You're doing I'm pro
I
Hamas.
never said you were pro Hamas. You're putting words in my mouth.
It is.
But you seem to be downplaying it.
There for the last 17 years, people have been under a blockade where they cannot leave. If you were born in a place and there's a fence there, and there's
Yeah,
nothing-
again, like, this, it's the standard fucking Zionist talking point, specifically that Ritchie Torres is engaging with here. He's doing this because of the fact that he is just pro-Zionist. He just is okay with, well, honestly, for the lack of a better term. He's just okay with fucking killing people. He doesn't give a fuck about any of this stuff. He is pro-Zionist. He just wants Palestinians to suffer.
And he says you can't go anywhere. Would you like that guy? If you treat people like animals, sometimes they're going to flash out.
I sincerely believe, maybe I'm wrong, that if Palestinians were governed not by a terrorist organization like Hamas in Gaza, but by a regime that was able and willing to make peace with Israel, the situation would be fundamentally different.
The preconditions for this happening are
Again, like this completely fucking sociopathic. He's just fundamentally incapable of just engaging with the main problems here. It's insane.
undeniably something that the Israeli government was fully aware of. Why would Bibi Netanyahu? Okay,
do you think October 7th was justified?
no.
Okay, I'm happy you said that.
Are you listening to what I'm saying right
I am
now?
listening to what you say.
Why would the Israeli government, Hamas wants to eradicate the Jewish people and the Jewish state? Is that right?
That's what Hamas has said, yeah.
Okay, then why would they directly give Hamas money, literally bags of cash in suitcases through the Qataris? Nearly, I think over $1 billion in cash during this last 17 years.
That's a fair point. It's a great question.
Even if one of those kids at Columbia wrote a 5
Yeah. Hey, Richie, that is a good question. Are you going to answer that? I feel like that's a question that merits a particular answer. Like, why do you think the Israelis are doing that? We know why the Israelis are fucking doing that. It's because, fundamentally speaking, it is about the fucking genocide. That's what they want to do. They just want to fucking kill people. Like, that's the entirety of it. Like, it's so fucking ridiculously obvious that, like, fucking everyone in the fucking Democratic Party is starting to fucking see it. They know. But, like, again, people from Congress, who gives a shit about any of that stuff?
Them to get him over being a terrorist.
It's a fair point.
Does that make Benjamin Netanyahu a terrorist? He's supporting terror.
The United States, it seems to me, the United States and Israel could have shut off the spigot and did not do so. I don't know why, but that was a failure. There's no question.
I think that what I see is the reason why our government provides $25 billion to something that looks this horrific to people. I think it's the same reason. I think it makes it look like the Jews control the government, but really what it is the more boring answer. It's the reason why the government and you guys don't get shit done. It's the reason why Sandy Hook can happen. You guys can't do gun reform. It's because
why can't we do gun reform?
Because special interest groups can buy influence in our government.
Which political party is against gun reform?
The NRA has the power.
It's the Republican Party.
We allow our government to be flooded with cash and money, and it's what's
Adam, by the way, is correct here. Like, the problem is the fact that Citizens United has effectively given corporations the ability to do speech. That's the fucking main problem here. Yeah, exactly, Alex, right? Like, the point was, like, and that's a very good point, I should have mentioned this. The reason why they gave Hamas is to try to crack down on secular resistance, to make it look like the Palestinians, fundamentally, the Palestinians are all fucking extremists, and we should just be allowed to fucking just get rid of them because there is no redeeming qualities to any of the Palestinians, right? Like, should say that immediately for clarification.
What's scary to me is that it looks that people are starting to question the Holocaust ever happening. How could Jews maybe they invented the Holocaust?
You're blaming Israel for Holocaust denial?
I'm blaming our government for supporting a genocide.
Yeah.
But it is unfathomable in my heart, and it breaks my heart that we could be capable of
I
it.
think we should move on.
Why is that?
We just fundamentally disagree. So
I think I'm talking to you about where I come from and that it feels different, and maybe I have a different perspective.
you have a different perspective.
But
I know people have a perspective that's different from yours. And
Yeah.
with a much smaller platform than you.
I'm not. I hate this conversation.
I know.
I have it with my family. It's not something I love my family.
If it were up to me, we would not be having this because we're speaking a foreign language.
My family grew up in South Africa, right? We were like Jews from Eastern Europe that literally we thought we were going to Ellis Island. My grandma, all the grannies stayed, and my parents' whole generation of South African Jews left. And when I was a kid, like growing up, I used to write all my who's my hero essays on Nelson Mandela, and he was like a hero of mine, right? And he was also in prison, for terrorism too. I don't want to get it. You're going to go Hamas is. I'm not debating Hamas. He was called that, and he went to my synagogue after he got out of prison, and he spoke to like all the grandmas who like were still there. They didn't have to fucking move because black people could vote. And he said, "Tell your kids to come back because we need them to build our country." I don't know. I think that I don't see what's wrong with people being afforded the right to vote.
Do you think that's what Hamas means when it says free Palestine from the river to the sea?
To me, it seems like maybe if there's a recognition that people were cleared off their land in 1948,
But there are those who only want a Jewish state, and there are those who only want a Palestinian state.
then they can fuck off.
And we should be advocating for the coexistence of a Jewish state and a Palestinian state.
Why
I
can't you
continue to believe the two-state solution ultimately is the inevitable path forward.
It's stupid.
Like I've said before, like, no one fucking agrees with that. For a two-state solution to be possible, again, I've said this point constantly before, it requires both sides to fucking agree to that fucking solution. Israel, being the main power in question here, does not fundamentally agree with a fucking two-state solution. So at this point, it is an impasse. They want to maintain the apartheid structure, right? That's the fucking point of any of this, right? They just want to fucking ethnically cleanse the fucking Palestinians. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
There were 1,000 Jews who were murdered before the establishment of Israel, like half a century before the establishment of Israel.
Half is
1,000 Jews.
yeah, they were killing each other, Jews and Palestinians. Yeah,
The Hebron massacre.
it doesn't make sense to me. This in 2025,
The only point was there was violence against Jews before the establishment of the state of Israel.
there's violence against Palestinians, and there was an ethnic cleansing in 1948.
Yeah, like it was not just during fucking. I mean, Ritchie Torres. I guess it should be expected that he wants to fucking also downplay the actions of the Zionist militias during the fucking 20s. Like, crazy. Who would have thought? Ritchie Torres fucking downplaying all that shit. But yeah, like Adam is correct here. Like, there's a lot of fucking complicated reasonings. Like, as the Zionists, as the Ashkenazi Jews were moving more and more into Palestine, they were clashing with Palestinian militias and fucking farmers, right? Because again, the point of them doing this, it's the fucking ethnic cleansing. That's what they want to do.
I mean, the Hebron massacre.
What are you talking about right now? You're in the government. Listen, I just want to argue.
So you're not familiar with the Hebron massacre in 1929?
What you're saying that justifies an entire ethnic cleansing in 1948?
Israel was.
Well, this isn't even a good argument.
Hold up. Israel.
What are you talking
I
about?
didn't realize we were.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, the argument that one massacre happens means that should justify a fucking ethnic cleansing is really fucking stupid, obviously.
I don't want to do it, but you say something like that.
The Jewish state was established by international law, right? The UN passed a resolution that recognized the establishment of a Jewish state, and there were a number of Arab countries, including Egypt, that declared war on Israel.
Yes.
The War of Independence. And
Palestinians
Israel won the war.
The Palestinians didn't declare war on them. They were just people that were living there, and they were kicked off their
By the
land.
way, there were
either
800,000 Jews that were ethnically cleansed.
Do you know
there were Jews. You know how many Jews there are?
Not
in
by
Arab
the
world?
Palestinians.
Not talking about the broader Arab
So
world.
why do the Palestinians have to bear the responsibility of the Algerians kicking the Jews out?
You can
Why do the Palestinians bear the responsibility of Egypt invading
Israel's been a
1948?
state for 77 years.
Bro, it's so
And
depressing
so
what you're saying right now.
you're proposing to undo an established state?
No, I know people that live there. I have family that live there. I don't think that they should
What are you
leave.
proposing?
I'm proposing a democracy. I'm proposing an extensive demographic study of what was taken and what was lost, extensive reparations for what was taken, and a truth and reconciliation process where we can end this shit. What we're seeing right now is that members of the Israeli government are talking about clearing that shit out, and Trump, our president, is talking about putting a fucking jet ski museum there. And that's the reality right
That's the
now.
far right, yes.
It's
That's
the
what
far
you
right.
gotta reject, so.
What the far right? I'm talking about the government and the generals. that are-
Yeah, that's not just the far right. That is just general broader Israeli society. Even like a lot of more liberal sort of Jews within Israel, fundamentally also just agree with. They just want to fucking do the ethnic cleansing, like that they're just basically not going fucking far enough. Like has been consistently said at this point. The point is the fucking ethnic cleansing. That's what the fucking Zionists want to do. It's complete fucking nonsense. Yeah, he is making a lot better arguments than that fucking dipshit who decided to come into Discord. Although I'll be quite honest, Alex, I don't think that it was that guy's dad. I think that was just a complete fucking meme.
that are in charge of Israel.
The Ben-Gvirs, the Smolters of the world, that's a
They're
view
the
that I reject.
cabinet.
Yes, I reject them.
That's what Hamas is saying they want to do to Israel.
Yeah, again, this is the main problem with like fucking liberal Zionists. They think like it's just an aberrance of what's going on in particular with like, oh yeah, no, that's just like what a couple of extremists are saying. No, it's the general broader society. Like the problem is the project of fucking Zionism. It's not just, oh yeah, it's just I just don't agree with Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich. They're the ones who are the aberrances. It's like, nah, dude, that's complete fucking bullshit, bro.
Sorry.
I mean,
Hamas murdered thousands of people, so there's no.
So what does that mean?
The Hamas is a terrorist organization for murdering innocent children and civilians.
How many civilians have been killed in this war?
The war is a tragedy, but
90% of them have been. 90% of them have been civilians. They've killed journalists. They've killed journalists.
People have been killed in war. It's been a tragedy.
They've killed people waiting for aid.
But you're suggesting that it is the policy of the Israeli government to murder civilians, and that is a notion that I reject.
You gotta listen, man. You gotta be like a human being about this.
People who are
Yeah, again, like it's not what he's saying isn't fucking ridiculous. Like, yes, at this point, like, do we have to like go to like I don't know, Bezalel Smotrich or Itamar Ben-Gvir talking about like they just want to kill people? Like it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, October 7th is obviously bad, but war, meh, whatever.
dying in the war, which to me is a tragedy because war is a
Do
tragedy.
you feel in your heart that this is what you're saying is right?
If you remove Hamas,
don't actually think
well, I
that.
told you what I believe. Don't tell me what I believe. I told you what I believe.
Why would you believe that?
Because there are people who see the world differently. I know it's a shock to you, but there are people who see the world differently.
But why?
I know that's a shock to you.
Like, it seems a little bit like
The humanitarian crisis has deteriorated.
I don't want to be disrespectful like this.
Well,
But like
you've been at various points.
In what capacity?
You've just been hostile.
In what capacity?
It's fine. Don't worry.
He's
It's
been
a-
hostile?
I think that
Genuinely fucking sociopathic behavior, bro. Like, Adam is being, I would argue, rather fucking heartfelt and is trying to appeal to Ritchie Torres' fucking humanity, and Ritchie Torres is he just can't do it. I don't know, like what else are you supposed to say besides like damn, I guess like Ritchie Torres is like inhuman or something, like genuinely trying to appeal to somebody's fucking humanity, and he just can't do it. I don't know. I guess like I guess the APAC bucks just speak too much. It's complete nonsense, dude. Yeah, you're doing a great job, Richie, at defending the noble honor of Israel. Good work.
My conscience is clear, especially as someone that's lived there and seen it and loved people that live there. And this sucks. I really didn't want to do this. And I think that you saw it as gotcha. This is what people are talking about right now.
Well, not in South Bronx. People are not talking about Israel. People are talking about how to put food on the table.
So people yeah.
Maybe in your world, that's what people are talking about.
No,
In
I
my
know.
world, people are struggling. So.
Yeah. Then why, if people are struggling in your world, are you paying $25 billion?
We have a $7 billion. We have $7 trillion budget in the federal government.
Yeah.
Right, less than.
So it's not that much money?
Less than 1%.
So it's a little money with Israel.
In the grand scheme of the federal budget, yes, it's minuscule.
That's the fucking argument, dog. They are committing a fucking genocide, bro. It's like, oh, yeah, we're not giving them that much money. So like, that means it's okay for them to use that money to commit fucking genocide, bros. Like, that's psychotic, man. Absolutely fucking insane.
I'm sorry, dude. You're bummed. Your consultant told you not to do it. I like this guy a lot too. I hate this. It's so embarrassing.
I don't have anything to hide. I'm willing to go anywhere.
No, man. I'm sorry. I appreciate your time. Listen,
Sure.
having this opportunity for me is a big deal. I don't get to talk to someone in the government that's taking part of these big decisions like this. And
Well, I'm only one of 535. So.
well, I'll talk to another one. Which one would like me? Virginia Fox?
I don't know.
Do you have her number?
I don't have a number. No.
Right. I appreciate it. I feel like you're mad at me or something. I gotta get a big laugh.
Look, it's like Hyman Roth from The Godfather 2. He said, "This is the life we've chosen." So, I know what I signed up for.
Is this what happens? I've been doing a terrible job. I'm rambling about Israel and being a Jew and the Holocaust. It's the most embarrassing stuff to talk about in public.
I feel like every Jewish American should have a right to be who they are, to wear a kippah, to display Star of David, to be proudly and visibly Jewish, without fear of harassment or intimidation or violence.
Well,
I mean, the freedom to be who we are is like fundamental for all of us.
I mean, again, like, let's be honest here. That's not a fucking problem, Richie. Like, the problem that people are having, like, it's not about, like, a Jewish people not being able to display their fucking Jewishness or whatever fucking idiotic bullshit that you're gonna fucking try to say. No, it's the fact that the U.S. government is complicit in a fucking genocide that people are having a problem with, my dude. Like, complete fucking nonsense, dude. Yeah, it's not that. Come on, Adam. Like, you're lying. You're full of shit. Come on, it's not that expensive to starve children. Come on, let's be honest here.
I think that from where I'm sitting, Israel might be a threat to that.
And, you have that view, but others have a different view.
Why are we still having this interview? This is exhausting. I'm sweating.
We can end the interview.
AC's on. I'm just trying to find a button to shake your hand, dude. I don't want to fucking do this.
I think you have to speak about this.
I didn't have an agenda.
I really
It's
didn't.
your number.
I can't.
Saying that he has a fucking agenda. Yeah, hey, by the way, hey, dumbasses who talk about fucking anti-Semitism all the time. Ritchie Torres immediately assuming someone who is Jewish having a fucking secret agendas. That's a little interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting behavior that's being engaged here by fucking Ritchie Torres. Again, like, these people are complete, utter fucking freaks. Like, Richie, we get it. You just want to do you're okay with the fucking genocide. You're just okay with a bunch of fucking kids getting fucking turned into mulch, bro. Like, just admit it to that, bro. Like, you're just okay with fucking murdering children. That's what you're just in support of that. It's okay, At least it'd be honest. I'd have a little bit more respect for you if you were just being honest about that. Like, fundamentally, he's just a complete utter sociopath, and the fact that he's like completely darkened out in the shadow is just complete fucking nonsense. Oh yeah, 1000%. Like, yeah, like, I don't disagree with that at all, Alex. I do think that people like Ritchie Torres just do not have a fucking agenda. He's just a fucking stooge. Like, that's it. He's just a stooge to fucking power. He just wants to be a fucking career politician because he managed to get out of whatever shitty fucking living situation that he used to be in before. And, he's just like, well, fuck you. I got mine. So, fuck you, bitch. I don't have to deal with any more bullshit. Let's fucking go. Like, that's what it is to people like him. It's just complete, utter fucking sociopath, dude.
It is.
It's not my it's
what I saw. Well, from what I saw.
I was not elected. You don't get elected in the South Bronx.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad.
No, but I just don't think you know what you're talking about.
You don't get elected in the South Bronx. Yeah, dude. Like, being ardently pro fucking Israel in a fucking place, in a fucking party that is just coming out in revolt against the fucking actions of what Israel is doing. It's I don't know. It's just, do people broadly speaking understand just how fucking psychotic it is, dude. Absolutely fucking insane, dude. I don't know, like, as expected from people like fucking Ritchie Torres, like, he's just a complete utter fucking psychopath. Like, I don't know, like what else are you supposed to say about this besides dude's just a complete utter fucking nutter, dude. Just nothing besides just full-throated dick sucking of fucking Israel, bro. And people are like wondering why. Hey, I wonder why within the Democratic Party specifically, they're having even lower and lower fucking approval ratings of fucking Israel, and there's a lot of fucking more increases in fucking anti-Semitic attacks that are happening against Jews all across the world. It's because there is a state known as fucking Israel that is basically using, I'm trying to think of what like the proper term here it would be, like symbols. I'm gonna say like symbols of Judaism and being Jewish in order to justify their morally fucking abhorrent actions. And you want to like sit there and like morally preen and fucking justify the fucking actions of a complete rogue state that doesn't really fucking like you all that much, all because you get some fucking dollar bills, y'all, from them. A complete utter fucking nonsense. I don't think there's like really much else to say besides, Richie, you are a fucking tool and a complete utter fucking sociopath, little bro. Actual fucking psycho, dude.